Hello, everybody. My name is Naomi. I'm originally came from Tokyo, Japan. Actually, this year, 2020, is my 10 years anniversary to start to Macrobiotic. So it's kind of for me, today I'm here is very special. So kind of anniversary in my class. So thank you very much for having me, Gnat and Sheldon.
Pleasure.
So today I want to talk about Kanten. So I call Kanten the crown jewel of macrobiotics because it's really, really precious. Today I will report to you when I went to Kanten, traditional Kanten farm. Photo and many video I want to show you and I want to share with you so you can know how Kanten comes to your table. Okay, so I want to show you many things. So let's start that. So I want to share. Okay, just a moment. This is not. Okay, let's start. So, uh, the 2016. But before that, I always wanted to know how content comes to your table. Many people know content flake like that, and then many people maybe know content is from ocean, like a sea, from sea, made by seaweed. Many people knew that, but what kind of seaweed, what kind of process and then make like that content flake? I was always wondering. And then 2016, January, I visited a content farm in Japan. Their name is Ogasawara Shoten. Okay, Ogasawara Shoten. They have a history more than 100 years. Can you see the beautiful place, right? So, can you see?
Yes, we see
Okay.
well.
Yeah. And then now, president is the fourth generation, totally family business. So they working, all of family work together. So they are in Ina, Nagano Prefecture in Japan. Nagano Prefecture is northwest of Japan. Uh, in winter, Ina is very cold and dry, and they have they are surrounded by beautiful mountains. So actually, they have beautiful spring water from the mountain. It means Ina is the best place to make content because for making content, beautiful spring water, cold and dry climate are very important factor. They produce content October to March every year. It means they can make content only during cold winter. I was astonished when I went to there. Beautiful weather, but it's very cold, but beautiful weather. I was enjoying a lot. And then I will explain later what is that. Maybe you can see that is already content. Someday, even after Corona things coming down, someday I want to have a tour for everybody. Like I want to show you the place. It's really amazing place. So one video I want to show you. So please take a look. That's a beautiful day and surrounding the beautiful mountain. Then actually they are drawing content. Later I will explain, but now just you can take a look. It was very, very cold day. So content has two kinds. actually natural content and industrial content. So the natural content is basically handmade. They follow the natural environment such as weather, season, or location. They are following that things. And Ogasawara Shoten that I visited used to make content all handmade. Now they part of process is using machine, but still do handmade for the main part of the process. Unfortunately, industrial content is not same effect as natural content. And some of them use bleach for making powder white. The industrial method is compression dehydration. It's kind of difficult for me to pronounce. Maybe I hope you can understand. Compression dehydration.
Compression dehydration.
Yeah, it's not natural. Especially majority of powder content is not natural. Maybe you can see very white, very what they say, fine powder content. That is, unfortunately, they often use bleach to make powder white. So you have to be careful that. But Ogasawara Shoten's content, even some part is machine, but it's really, really natural content. Okay. We have several kind of content, such as I showed you, like flakes, okay? And I said some of powder is not natural, but I found the organic natural one, it's kind of not really white, still have a dark, a little bit color. The meaning is maybe this is okay for the powder. I don't use no much powder, but anyway, I have as a sample powder too. And it's bar content. Okay, and this is the strip content that I saw in a factory. That's the strip content. Okay, it's totally dry. Okay, so maybe in the US, most common content is maybe flake. We often use flake. But in Japan, same as flake, bar content is very common. And when I visited Dubai, Dubai has a bar content. So each country has a maybe different type of content is common. So I'm not sure in Israel, but maybe at least you have a flake or bar or maybe powder. So maybe you can
We have the flakes.
flake, yeah.
We have the flake, yeah.
Okay, great. So flake is good. So I want to recommend to use is flake or bar is maybe really good effect for us. Powder doesn't have no much effect, same as flake or bar or strip. Strip is maybe very rare. Even in Japan, not so often we can get. So maybe bar or flake is very nice. Okay.
And which company? Do you have a company that you prefer?
Okay, so in the US and in Japan, we have many. Of course, Ogasawara Shoten's content is wonderful, but we can't get in the US or another country, I think. So I often buy it from Eden Foods in US. So I'm not sure that things other country you can get, but maybe your country's natural food company, you can find out content. So flake or bar. In the US, I want to recommend Eden Food has a bar content. So Gina, do you have Israel has a many macrobiotic ingredients selling place? You have the kind of place?
Well, we get from Mitoku some products.
Okay. Yeah, so Mitoku
we
is
used
also okay.
to.
So Mitoku is okay. Maybe bar content, Mitoku will have a bar content. That may be good. Okay. So I said it's rare, but in Japan, sometimes we can get the strip Kanten, and then we use this. Sometimes instead of noodle, we can get like a noodle like this. Can you see this is noodle, like Kanten noodle. So Kanten noodle is what you say, almost content is fiber, 100% fiber. So when you want to eat late night, but you don't want to have nothing, you don't want to eat anything heavy. It's very light night snack, good for night snack. Or sometimes like a daytime is okay, but between meals, light snack, especially cold winter, hot soup with content noodle is quite nice for the snack.
Looks great.
Yeah, so I hope it can. Okay, everybody can see. Okay, so that's the kind of I showed several kinds of content. So let's start to process. I want to show you how content comes to your table. So let's start to see their process. So first is, have you ever seen tengusa? That is that red seaweed. This is seaweed. This is the contains ingredients. From that red seaweed, content became like that flake. Can you believe that this kind of red became like that? So the first step is measuring and formulation. In Japanese, kusawari, it means formulation for content. The many kinds of tengusa they mix, they have many kinds. And the formulation is very important for good quality content. Each tengusa has different nature. So some of tengusa is very strong and some of it's very soft. And taste is also different. So formulation, the measuring and the formulation need experience. Okay. So first step is I showed you, this is ingredients. Okay. This is a chunk of the seaweed from they collect all over the Japan, collect tengusa all over the Japan, because each tengusa has, I said, different nature. So they mixed many way, and then it's kind of yin and yang balance. They are taking yin and yang balance to measuring and formulation. And after they formulation, they washing. They wash 400 kilogram tengusa for a day. In a big, this blue tank, they are washing. They wash 100 kilogram at once. So they have to wash for 4 times separately. And they wash tengusa to take out sand or stones and dust. Each time, groundwater left running. You can see the running water. That it means they need tons of water for washing. Okay. So next, after washing, this is, first was like that color, but after washing, they became beautiful red color, and then a little became, you can see, became soft. Content became like when you make hijiki soaking, after soaking became soft. Same things, it became a little bit soft. And then after washing is a soaking. Only washing cannot remove scum. The seaweed has so much scum. So can you understand scum? Like
Scum.
It's quite young part. We have to take off that. So only washing can't remove scum. So after washing, it's soaked in a groundwater. Can you see this is like a pool? For 24 hours, they will soak in this pool. Okay. And then next step is boiling. So this big pot, they are using this pot 400 kilogram tengusa boiled in a huge pot with 5 tons water every day. 5 tons water, okay? And it again need experience because I said each tengusa has a different nature, means each tengusa has appropriate time to boil. So they have to see which tengusa boil fast and how long need to boil. Every time they are checking the tengusa's condition, depend on that, the people is watching. And then Ogasawara Shoten has several craftsmen who has more than 50 years experience. So only they can make beautiful content. Even just I go there and then, okay, Naomi, this is tengusa you can use and then boil and things. I can't figure out. I can make beautiful dessert from their content, but I can't make this kind of things immediately. They have so many experience and kind of what to say, maybe intuition or everything they have for the content. Okay, so that is the boiling. So after boiling, it steam, same pot we use just to see the video. They steaming in a big pot, 12 hours. It seems it's also very sensitive work that it has to keep right temperature, and if it's too hot, content quality is getting worse. And if too cold, they will start to become hard. Like when, content we put refrigerator, they can become like jellied. Same things. Already they have that kind of nature. So if too cold, steaming too cold, it will be hard. Okay, so always they are taking, maybe they are talking to content, like how it's good, which temperature is good, how long steam is good. Always they are checking. It's all like a manpower, not just like a computer or no machine. They has to see. Okay, so next, steaming is extracting. So all tengusa and the boiling water that we making on a big pot is in this kind of big, each section, but the big container. The huge container has actually two different type of texture like this. The bottom is a little bit thin texture, and then top is a little bit thick texture. These two kind of texture, and then the liquid coming to inside of the each section, and then they will cover these two texture. After that, they will put here a little bit, you can see the big weight. This is weight. So this will go to top of the cloth. Okay, so after they put the weight, the content liquid drops naturally. So we can see this is 50 years experiments, wonderful craft, one of great craftsman. It's now put in a weight on the top of the container. So craftsman can see how long and how much weight they need. Every day, every time, different. So every day they are checking. Actually, I wanted to talk to him how to work with the things, but the craftsman is very, very quiet, just focusing to content. I was feeling he was talking to content definitely, and then communicating with content. And then today, oh, your condition is good, so maybe wait, this how long, he's talking to content. Okay, so it's very, very precious. Already you can feel how precious Kanten is, right? So next is solidifying. So put Kanten liquid to stainless box to solidify. It's a stainless box, okay? And then still the time, we have to keep moisture. Otherwise, this time, if content became the dry, it's not so great. So always they keep moisture in a stainless box. And then you can see the color is not white yet, like not like that, right? It's green, still green, very green. Okay, like that big chunk of the content. So content this time is very strong. Maybe you have an experience when you put too much content became like rubber, like very hard. Oh, no, even content, but too hard content is sometimes very not so tasty. But this is not dessert yet, not tasty yet. So it's very hard. You can see the how strong. Can you see the president explain the how hard is that? He's put pressure, but it's not broke yet. Okay, so one of video I want to show you. He's grabbing kind of much, but it's not broke yet. And then little by little, finally, little by little crack. Okay. So he's actually, from the video, not we can't see how much he's grabbing, but actually he's grabbing very hard. Finally broke. And you can see the beautiful, the cutting part. Okay, so one more video. This is content chunk. And then he allowed to me to touch, so I touched. It's very hard. Can you see this kind of hard content? And color is very dark still. You have to remember that. Okay, so after solidified, we will cut, they will cut the content to strip. This is making this strip content. So they're cutting. So please see how to cut. Actually, they're using now this machine, wonderful machine. However, until 2000, they cut content by hand until 2000. So the big chunk is going to cutting press. And you can see the underneath with the machine. Okay, this is a very special machine. And then after content cut to strip, put it on a mat. It's like a rice straw mat. They use their hand to make strip content evenly, like pushing and then, try to evenly. Because after they make this, they will bring outside this mat. So everything has to be even. So like this. But you have to understand, they wearing much clothing means to keep content quality great, very, very cold room here. But they are working so hard all day long.
It's all good, so don't worry.
Excuse me, just a moment. So they working always to both sides has a person, and then they pushing evenly. Okay. Then one more video. See that they using hand and pushing. It's all strip content, and it's still not white yet.
Would there be any idea of using their feet? Would they walk on it?
Excuse me?
Maybe they would walk on it instead of hands, use their feet?
Maybe I can talk to them. Yeah. Yeah. That's a very funny and nice idea. Yeah.
Like grapes, like making wine.
Yeah. That's, yeah. Okay.
So does the factory close during the summer?
Yes, they are doing other job. So that is the strip content after they put evenly on a straw mat. Okay. So after cutting the straw, still they are totally soft. They will put in a freezer for overnight. Can you see the frozen? This is content frozen. This kind of big freezer they have, and then put overnight. And then after frozen, they all content on the mat bring outside under the sun. So the sun melt content and naturally start to drop water. So already this is maybe few days underneath of sun means basically the color was like that. But after frozen and underneath of sun and then melt and then water drop off, this kind of frozen melt drop, this kind of things repeating makes them white. It is natural bleach. Nothing is, we don't use chemical bleach. It's a natural bleach. Okay, that's why natural content is wonderful. So after bring underneath of sun, they became dry. During they have a sun like that, makes dry, and then nighttime, always night air makes content a little bit moisture, like a nighttime air makes moisture. So it means the sun makes content young, a little bit young, right? And then nighttime air makes content in. So this yin yang process makes content very, very energetic. And macrobiotic many remedy ingredients, think about that. Dry shiitake, dry daikon, kuzu, umeboshi, every kind of ingredients using this yin and yang energy always. Dry shiitake also out of sun, underneath of sun they put, and the nighttime air makes dry shiitake a little bit soft, and then again daytime dry, in yang, in. This makes our food medicinal power. I was very astonished. Like at the time, Kanten is really the kind of energy. But actually, this last summer, I start to make my own umeboshi and then realized that, oh, this is same as Kanten. Sun and the moon, yin and yang energy makes our remedy food so powerful. So can you understand that? I hope everybody can understand by English, but I was so exciting when I find out, okay? So they put the content outside and then dry, the kind of yin and yang repeating for 10 to 15 days. So
You mean go up where?
can you see this? Already this is maybe more than 10 days. They became very dry. You can see the difference. This is still very looks like soft, but after 10, 15 days, they became like that dry, means like that, okay? Okay, exactly that, right? This is still a little bit the early stage, so see the video. I think this is just like a few days after they put outside, still very soft. But already became white means even few days, frozen, melt, dropping water, the frozen, dry, dropping water makes already content white. And then looks beautiful, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then one more video. This is, I think, 1 week. So compared to the previous video, looks like a little more dry. So little by little, they changing every day. You can see the start to become dry, but not totally dry. Still, a little bit part of that is very soft. So need more time.
I'm the Cheshire Cat, by the way.
Okay, so after underneath of sun makes dry totally, this is the next almost final step is sorting. Each batch of content is checked by hand. So the two expert woman is there. They checking every content sheet, no stone, no dust. They are checking. And then they said they eat content every day. They love content. And actually, they are almost 70s. Both of women is 70s, but their skin is very beautiful. I was thinking, oh, maybe their beautiful skin secret is maybe content. So, and then also, it's quite all process is labor intensive, but they work in very cold room all day long. But they smiling, they are very nice and they welcome to me. And then, wonderful energy there. That's why this content is very wonderful. They working, already very beautiful, but anyway, as a product, they can't have any stone or dust, so they are checking.
Naomi, what happens if it snows?
Snow, so I have to say that. So they have a really wonderful intuition, and then also always with the focus they are checking. So in the morning, one of the craftsmen is look at the sky and then everything check, and then maybe today if we will have a snow afternoon, so means they are planning to daytime outside, nighttime some kind of they have like a storage room, so they put everything in a storage room during rain or snow, and then after sun is coming again they bring outside everything. So really this is even though part of the process they are making machine, but really they were intensive and then all kind of manpower. So that's the amazing part. So, and then after dry, they're using this machine. This is the made by wood, nothing is electric, made by wood, and they are using more than 50 years to, what they say, tied the content strip, like using the band. So the band, so like that. And then they will ship to each store. Okay, so the content strip is keeping in a very cold and dry room to keep the quality before they ship to each shop. And then actually in Japan, many Japanese sweet like a shop, like that azuki bean sweet, like a very famous Japanese sweet yokan or nice dessert shop we have. Of course, they're using sugar, but for example, the emperor's ceremony, we always make some special dessert for their anniversary or the things. Always this shop's content is going to the emperor's place. So that's very kind of very famous. They are very famous for the natural content. Okay, and then in a usual when we go shopping, we can have these things is their products, beautiful bar content and strip content. I hope we can sell these things in all over the world someday. Okay, that's the products. So, and then also last information is the,
7 Meadow, which is a very good.
I hope you can see well. This is all unused portion of the tengusa. After we take off liquid, tengusa is leftover is there, but they don't throw away. They are using recycled as making other plants in the farm. They are using as a compost. So means we don't waste anything. It's exactly whole foods and the macrobiotic. So that's why Kanten has so much power and for us.
2020 edition.
So that's today's my report. So I just, can you understand that how precious is that? Some question or some opinion, or if you have something I want to hear from you. Do you understand or some question or?
So does anybody have questions then for Naomi? We've been asking. Naomi, do you have some recipes for us?
Yes, so that is last a little bit 5 minutes I want to show you. So if you don't have any question, I will show you the.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Hi, Naomi. That was great. That was very educational. I didn't know that how Kanten was made after all these years. So when you buy Kanten, not from Eden or Mitoku, but you go to a Japanese or Asian market, and you get the bars, or maybe you can even find the noodles. Are they safe to buy? Are
The some of the products really you have to be careful that even I think bar is usually natural, any kind of company from Japan. However, strip content is sometimes trick. It's not only just like a content, like they put some ingredients for become noodle. Like we can buy Chinese supermarket like a content noodle or something. It has sometimes not only content, not natural. So definitely this is be careful that, especially if you can't read Japanese, sometimes, you know, yeah, that's, you know, and then some of English label there, but they don't explain everything, you know, so that things, maybe you can contact me to put the photo and then I will translate the things. So, you know, ingredient, the products, ingredients, please check that.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so another question, like really, I want to recommend to use the flake or bar, definitely, but you know, either one is okay. And then if you can't get these things, only powder available. Some country I heard only I have a powder, and they said the time, just you can ask the company, you know, you don't use any bleach or anything, what is really ingredients, you can ask them, call them, and then just to make sure that's natural, it's okay. But unfortunately, the effect is like a flake, and the bar contents effect is really huge for us. But powder things is not same as this, but still you can get some benefit. So, you know, just like find something like you can get, okay? And then I hope someday I can sell the Japanese wonderful content really. Okay, so quickly, I have maybe 5 minutes. Ginat, I have 5 minutes.
Sure, yes.
So I send everybody the orange content. It's the, okay, so one more camera. I will mute here and then another.
I'm going to send out Naomi's Kanten recipe in my next newsletter.
Okay. Okay, so now you can see I already took the one sample here. Okay, so this is very nice for the content dessert.
Naomi, I think we have your picture sideways.
Hmm?
We have looking at you sideways.
Okay, sideways. So how to know?
Now upside down, I think.
This? Can you see?
Same. Well, yes,
You got-
we see your hands.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So this camera, name is Edward Esko account. Now I'm using for the showing the cooking.
Okay.
Okay. So this morning I already take off inside of orange. You can
But if you want to come out,
use the spoon and then take off very carefully. We don't want to have any holes, but cut and then take off the orange inside. And then I put cotton cloth to put all of the inside of the orange and then squeeze and then make orange juice, fresh orange juice. Okay. So I will use this fresh orange juice, put here, and Kanten flake or bar content amount. Kanten, if you will use Kanten flake, 1 tablespoon. The Kanten texture is each person has a different favorite, but I like not too hard, very sensitive kind of things I like. So 1 tablespoon Kanten put in fresh orange juice. Okay, and pinch of salt. Okay, and mix. So when you use Kanten or Kanten bar or Kanten flake, any kind of Kanten cooking, this is my experiment from my experiments. Don't use any flame that more than medium. Basically, you have to use always low to medium. Even I don't use medium, so very low flame is good for the Kanten. Of course, if you use low flame, you need time to dissolve Kanten in a liquid. However, this time is very important to make beautiful Kanten. If you use high flame and then boiling quickly and then make dessert, and if you use low flame, taking time and then making dessert itself totally different texture. If you use low flame and long time mixing and then taking care, makes your dessert texture very smooth and beautiful. That is I found out. So please take time using low flame and mix very gently. That makes your Kanten beautiful texture.
And just like I say,
Even
like a walk-in
the just one. Excuse me, Ed. Could you stop a little bit? So the Kanten is definitely sensitive. So today you saw the factories, the process, how they taking care of them. Means we have to use very preciously. Okay. So low flame and take time until they melt totally.
All right,
So today I can't, maybe it will be more than 10 minutes. So I will keep doing after class, but you can, do this until totally Kanten melt in a liquid. And then you can pour the cup using this cup and then put in a refrigerator 1 hour to 1 hour half, and then became like that beautiful Kanten. And then Gina told me maybe someday we have to have garnish class, means always whenever we make something beautiful, presentation is really important. Unfortunately, last May, I lost my father, but my father always advised me, macrobiotic cooking, that's great. However, macrobiotic cooking is always easy to be brown rice, miso soup, kimpira, everything like a brown. But he always told me, Naomi, key point to people into the macrobiotic diet, maybe more garnish, put the beautiful presentation. Presentation is very important for makes people get appetite. So please put something beautiful garnish on your dessert or your meal. So that is today's my class. So thank you very much for coming to my class, and then please enjoy your content. And then anything, if you have a question, please ask me by email or anything. So now, camera is a little bit strange here. So just a moment. So my email address is naomiesko@gmail.com. And December 5th, I will have a nukazuke class. It's a fermented rice brown pickles. Now, if you are interested in that, please email me. And then also about content, any kind of question, please feel free to email me so we can talk. Okay? So thank you very much for everybody. I'm enjoying with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful class. Oh, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much.